Hello, Taina. Today,
Hello.
I'd like
Hello, Alex.
to talk to you about transits of planets. It's something that it was very interesting for me. It was a passion for me to see how planets are influencing us. Because I remember when I was in another part of this world, I noticed that the sky looks totally different, and I'm quite curious. What is your opinion on what human design is saying about this transit of planets, how they are influencing us day by day?
Yes, it's a really interesting question because it's like the weather, you know, we all know how the weather influences us especially when we have some headache or something, but we can also notice the influence on a more subtle level, and it is the influence of the planet's transits, of their movement, and how really we are conditioned or programmed, all of people on the earth. And it's a very interesting question because no matter how, and we will talk today how we feel about it, how we can experience it, what sensations and feelings and emotions it can give, but we should remember that this transit field or this influence is not our life, that we have our life and that we have our design and we have this influence. For example, in human design, we can clearly see the transits field. Now, for example, this is the transit field now. By making such a chart, just now chart. So here on this chart, human design analyst can see the influence we all get through from planet's movement. So, and by the way, it can be very characterizing to see what's happening now, because you can see now the colored places. So, for example, this.
Can you let me ask you something?
Yeah.
How do you feel today? Can you describe it, or?
Yes, sure. I
The
will.
relationship with this chart that you are showing us here?
Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So you can see that this is what's happening now, that the influence we get from different planets, in this case, is from the position of the sun, the position of the Neptune in, for example, 36th gate, the position of the Mercury, and the position of Mars in 22 and 12th gates, respectively, and so on, makes these geometrical figures called centers in human design colored in. It means that, for example, this triangle is called emotional center. It means that all people who have this triangle in their individual charts, not colored in or white or open or undefined, all such people, and there are 50% of such people, they feel now like me, for example, they can
Like
feel
you?
now, yes, I can describe my state as emotional hell, because now I'm in a very
Emotional hell?
yes, today it's like this. What do we have to understand about it? If you have this center, for example, emotional center, open, not colored in your individual chart, it's not the place for you to make decisions relied on. It's not the place you should rely on to make decisions. It's not your emotions. It's where you are open. That's why this center is called open to the outside world. That's why today, for example, I do feel these transits, and I do feel heavy and emotionally, not in a pink spectrum, let's say, pink part of the spectrum. I am in dark colors, and simply, if to put it simply, it's just I feel irritation, I feel heavy, I feel sad, I feel sometimes angry. This is what quite a lot of people may feel today, because it's very powerful emotional energy now there is in transit field that we all get, especially open people with open emotional center today. So, and these transits change every day.
Mm-hmm. So it's something like the weather, as you said.
Yes, and we should remember that it's the weather and it will change, and it's okay. Now it's raining. By the way, it's raining now here in Geneva, but maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a week, it will not be raining. And it doesn't mean that if it's raining, I'm not going out of my place, or I'm not working, or I'm not talking. This decision I make based on my strategy and authority in my body. But all the same, I do feel this influence. And it's good to know why I feel bad. What does it mean for me? And do I need to make decisions, or can I make decisions out of this sadness, out of this anger?
Mm-hmm.
How can I deal with it?
So I understood that it is not quite okay to let this transit influencing us and take decision based on this transit, and to know exactly what is defining us, which is our design, to know exactly to take the decision based on our body,
Exactly.
our design, not to be influenced every day like we are influenced by the weather, and maybe not the weather is influencing us, but the planet that many days we are ignoring what is happening above the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this clarification.
Yes. It's like extremes. On the one hand, not to pay attention at all what I feel. Like it's not true. I am open, and 50% of people are open in this place. But this openness means that we're here to learn from all the emotions that flow through us. And now I am in such a state when I feel that now through me, what I can feel, these are the emotions of heaviness, sadness, anger, irritation, lots of what we consider unpleasant emotions.
So does it mean that this is necessarily bad? And why do we feel it? And the most important now, it's, can we change this kind of situations?
It's quite conventional to think so, to divide everything into good and bad. That's why we have this conventional attitude to good mood, bad mood, good emotions, bad emotions. Mm-hmm. The truth is that we need all the emotions. All the emotions bring their gifts, and they can help make different discoveries. Mm-hmm. And anger, sadness, they all bring their gifts. They help us to, for example, to let go what doesn't serve us anymore. They help us, for example, anger gives us this power to move through crisis, to change, to progress, to something new. Because in this fire of anger, what is burnt? Something that is not viable anymore, something that is not vital, something that is not for us anymore. So in all crises, like high temperature, for example, we burn something that is not good for us anymore, for our development.
Letting go to.
Yeah. So it's not about good or bad. It's very good question about how we look at these things, at emotions. It's for a reason. And yes, you're right. there is no one solution what to do in this situation for all open emotionals, because we all have our reliance in our body, our strategy in inner authority. But one kind of general advice is to be aware that people with open emotional center are here to learn from this emotional variety, emotional diversity. And if we can, when we are conditioned by a person emotionally defined who has colored in, who has the center colored in, and we are next to such people, like you, for example, yeah, whose mood is changing in waves, and emotionally open people can feel it, and we can feel, for example, if we are generators, to be next to you, or maybe not now. But when we are conditioned with such transits as today, we cannot get out. We cannot avoid this conditioning. We cannot avoid this emotional field we appear to be in. And we need to remember this time that it is happening for a reason. Because as you really asked me very correctly, as you put it, we all think about, why do I feel it? Who is to blame? And why? Because I want to change it. I want to avoid it. And what can I do? Yes, just to stop it, or to eliminate this from my life forever. And in such a case, we are devaluating these emotions. First, it's impossible to stop it. And second, nobody is to blame. Not you, not other people. Though it can seem at such moment that, yes, sure, he is to blame, or I'm to blame, I'm not good enough, or somebody else is not good enough with me. That's why I feel so bad. So this is kind of dead-end way of thinking, of dead-end approach that leads to just going deeper and deeper into suffering, mutual blaming, and it doesn't liberate you from these emotional states, because these emotional states are for a reason. All these emotions teach us something. And for example, they teach us really, maybe they help us to be sober, not so blinded by our own expectations or illusions or beliefs, some attitudes. They clear up with time, that our mindset or our outlook. And they also help to feel our truth. So to feel what we feel deep inside, kind of as if we are going down to the bottom of our lake, or down to the bottom of our ocean, and we can touch to the very intimate places of our inner truth.
So nicely said. Yes. So what I understood for me is, we show and we see on the chart, as for me as being colored, there is not a big influence this transit as it is today, but the people which doesn't have the emotional center color, it's a big influence. And when I'm coming near a person like this, like it is me and my wife, I'm influencing her, and there is a solution here for us to separate. But in this transit, in these days with this transit, is not quite possible to avoid it, no? Yes?
Yes, exactly. It's like this. And but what really human design gives us the system of knowledge. It gives the opportunity not to spoil your relationship, not to make wrong decisions, not to waste your energy and resource and awareness on something that doesn't give you what you're here for, satisfaction, for example. Yeah. So, for example, I really feel sad and heavy today, but knowing that it's just transit field, transit weather, it's not my life, it's not for me to make decisions based upon this my emotional state. Knowing that, I do remember it, and I always remind me about my reliance, and I'm not distracted by this kind of magnetic field, yeah, and tempting me to, for example, to go into conflict, or to start asking the other, why did you do like this? Why did you tell it to me like that? And I can be very emotionally driven today.
My next question, if you are at home, yes, you can go in this period, take a pillow, stay there, cry a little bit, feel what you feel. But if you are like the others, today it's Tuesday, yes, like you are in the office, you are, yes, influenced by this. What you can do with interaction with others, being there, and you have to do the job, do the things that you have to do today.
That's why we really speak all the time in human design about this wonderful innate tools we all have called strategy and inner authority. It's kind of your navigation, innate, inherent in your body, that can help you navigate through life and experience and interaction with others, meeting less and less resistance. It's not about avoiding conflict. So today, for example, usually open emotionals, that one of the shadows of such people is to avoid conflicts, to avoid unpleasant things, to avoid not nice moments, not sweet, being not sweet, to avoid pain in the end. And it is a shadow, because in such a way, these people and me, I'm one of them, try to avoid truth about their life. But in such transits, we have lots of conditioned chemistry inside, emotional chemistry, that can put us into such situation. It's not right and it's not wrong for everybody. Only based on your strategy and authority. For example, me, I'm a splenic manifesting generator. So only one moment and response in this moment my response can show me if it's right now to tell my truth, and in what way. And even if I feel sad, being aware of that and relying on my response, I can really convey my truth to the other, not being too sweet, but it doesn't mean that I am going to kill them. So it's the other kind of extreme, that open emotional can be, oh, today I have this emotional power, let me tell everything I think about you, now I will do it.
I will tell you.
It's kind of a revenge. Now I'm in my power. I can tell. So it can be very destructive position, and it shows only one thing, that we are not aware enough to cope with this power, to cope with this energy. We are kind of slaves of this conditioning, of this transits of this energy. So we don't deal with it with awareness, because our awareness is also only in our strategy and authority, in my spontaneous response. So until I have a spontaneous response, I'm mom. I don't say anything. I don't do anything. I don't initiate calling anybody and saying, why did you do it like this? Why didn't you do it like that? And so on.
Wow. Thank you so much for this clarification, and I hope it's clear for everyone how we are influenced every one of us by the planets every day, and it's important to know what is, as you said, our GPS, what to pass every kind of weather, if it's raining, if it's not raining, or if it's sunny, or even the sun in one place or the Mercury is in another place. We have to know exactly how we can center in every minute, every center, to know what we can rely on every day, and this is important, and this is our
oh yes,
our job.
especially on such days.
Everyone
Yes,
find these kind of things.
yes,
Especially what?
especially on such kind of days, because
Yes, exactly.
it's really tempting um, to get lost, to initiate something out of such, because it's manifesting channel. It's very powerful energy asking to be expressed, emotions ask to, oh, now I want to tell you everything, because I feel so bad. So maybe it's because of you, because you didn't do this and that, how I expected that to be. Or people can find themselves in the darkness, kind of. It's so dark in this life today. And if we are serious, if we take it seriously, we make wrong conclusions about our life, because it's also not true. It's just the weather. It's cloudy today. It doesn't mean that there is no sun above these clouds. So we, especially open emotionally people, need to remember about that. Transits are not our life. Transit weather is just like usual weather. Yes, we do feel different things. We can learn from that, but it's not to make conclusions. It's not our truth, because our truth is in our strategy and in authority. And every open emotional has their own strategy and in authority. Not to be distracted by these winds of emotions, sometimes cold, sometimes very hot, sometimes burning, and so on. So, as we say, to be yourself, you need to know yourself, and then you can really love yourself.
True. Thank you so much, Diana.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Merci.